Hi, and welcome to a demonstration of AppRx Application Compatibility Testing in the Cloud. This video, the last in a three-part series, will demonstrate how the AppRx SaaS-based solution can dramatically accelerate application testing. So no hardware or software installation is required, just upload your applications and test. For a demonstration of how AppRx can cleanse and rationalize large application inventories, or provide empirical analysis to trim portfolios and fast-track your apps to Windows 7, please see the first two videos in this series. So let's begin with the App Compat testing demonstration. The application compatibility testing is the last step in the application analysis process. And this step occurs after you've rationalized the portfolio and trimmed out the unused, old, and redundant applications from the portfolio, and also determined which of the COTS applications are already supported on Windows 7 by the vendors, and you can just fast track those over to your UAT folks. The remaining applications, so those that are unsupported by the vendor or custom applications, they're going to need to go through a compatibility testing to see if they can be remediated for Windows 7 or perhaps moved over to a virtual environment. So I've gone ahead and logged into our tool here, right into AppRx using a browser. You can upload your applications in a couple of different ways, but we do require the actual application installer file to do this test. So what you need to do is upload MSIs. MSIs are the ones that are actually used for the testing. Legacy applications can also be imported into AppRx, and we can convert those over to MSI as well. So just navigate to the directory where your MSI files are. You can select one, or you can select multiple, and then just click on Open, and these will import directly into AppRx. The next thing you want to do is create a logical grouping. We've done that in the first video and the second video for the analysis that we did there. But for the purposes of testing, the reasons for doing this are kind of twofold. The first being grouping all of your applications together is a requirement to do the deep dive analysis, but the other important thing to remember there is when you group your applications together and we do that analysis for you, we also provide interoperability reports, and that's going to show you how those applications within that specific grouping are going to interact with each other when installed on the same platform. So once you've created your folder and put your application installers in there just using drag and drop, you can go ahead and select on the analysis tab here on the left, and this brings you to the analysis summary screen. Ensure that the group that you want to test is selected. In this case, I've got an MSI folder. And then over on the right-hand side under Tasks, just go ahead and click on Run Compatibility Analysis. Now this screen is going to pop up, and you're going to be able to select the particular analysis technology that you wish to use, whether it be the AppDNA desktop analysis just for Windows 7 and Windows 8, or if you want to include server and virtualization technology, you have the option of selecting AppDNA, the Enterprise Edition, or the change-based product as well to do that analysis for you. So just go ahead and select the one that you're interested in. Click on Run. And what happens is those applications are going to get analyzed right on our back end. It's going to take about 45 minutes to an hour maybe, so enough time to go grab a coffee. Then you're going to get an email letting you know that the analysis is complete, and then you can log in. Select the Analysis tab over here, and you'll see the reports will appear as you've done your analysis. So again, just make sure you've selected the group that you're interested in viewing the reports for. And then just click on the View Reports tab over there. So this is the overview report. You can see on the left-hand side here, all of the applications that I've tested in this group are going to be listed from top to bottom. And then across the right, each of the platforms that I've tested against. So in this case, I've tested all of these applications for each of the AppDNA analysis modules. So we've got server, virtualization, and desktop as well. These also include 64-bit manager, so you'll get reports letting you know if your applications are going to be able to move to a 64-bit platform or not. And then that interoperability report that I was referring to we'll have a red, amber, green analysis for that too. And these are only applicable, again, to this particular group. So if you analyze the same app, that's, it's red in here for interoperability, it may not be red in another group. It just depends on the applications that that's being tested with. So for Windows 7, you can just read down the list here. We've got some greens and some ambers. The reds, if you see some reds pop up, that's a more difficult level of effort where you're going to have to apply some maybe some redevelopment of code or some drivers, things like that. Amber is a medium level of effort, so you might need to include a component or a minor shim, something that you can typically do right within a repackaging tool. And then the greens are probably good to go as is. There might be a minor issue in there that you'll need to correct, but if you think of it in terms of level of effort, the greens are easy. So to drill down, on the left-hand side here, you just expand out Windows 7. We provide the action reports, assessment reports, and all the other stuff that you would get if you had this, if you had AppDNA or the change-based engine installed on site. You get the same type of reports right here in the cloud. The action report that we're looking at right now just kind of shows you before and after summary of your application. So in this case, as tested in the before section here, I've got 4 that are amber and 10 that are green. And the after action summary just tells me that I can get those 4 ambers to a green status if I take the remediation that's supplied within the reports and apply it. The estate view report, similar view where you're going to get the pie charts, kind of the before and after, but it also includes a breakdown of the issues that your portfolio is facing. So in this case, you've got the list of issues are here on the left, and then under the red, amber, green, the number of applications in your portfolio that are facing these issues. So we've got some user account control violations, OS versioning, which I'll touch on when I get into the reports and things like that. So you can just have a quick look here and see where you stand in terms of what it's going to take for you to move this particular group of applications over to Windows 7 in this case. Now the actual applications are over here on the left. If you have some issues in here, let's go ahead and open up, I don't know, we don't want to do ours, so we'll open up that one. Okay, this one's come back as green. So we've got some environment settings issues. There's that OS versioning issue, and with Windows 7 you're going to see a lot of user account control issues, obviously. So we'll touch on those really quickly too. The severity of the issue is listed here. Now this one's green in this case, so it's an easy fix. It's a Windows socket call problem. So applications that attempt to communicate over TCP/IP may be blocked by the firewall in Windows 7. It's remediation. You can test the app functions as expected, and if there are issues, you can create a rule in the Windows firewall to allow the application's access. And the results area down here shows you which parts of the application installer are going to be causing this particular issue. So in terms of remediation, you know which areas of the app that you're going to need to touch on to fix. The OS versioning issue is a big one. Applications that were designed to run on Windows Vista or Windows XP. A lot of application vendors, when they're packaging their apps, choose to select the supported platforms within the installer. Then the installer checks the underlying OS version that it's going to be trying to install on. If it's not one of those specific groups or versions, then it'll cut out. It's an easy fix in a repackaging tool. You just change that to include Windows 7, and then the installer can proceed. And then the last one we'll look at here is the user account control issue. Again, there's the manifestation. So it's the UAC issue is let's see, library files utilizing known OS supplied admin functions called by an executable without requesting elevation will fail on Windows 7. There's a remediation line down here. It's asking you, one option is to apply a shim, a run as admin shim. And under the results view down here, it's showing which areas of the installer, again, this particular DLL are causing that problem. So your repackagers can come in, grab that file right out of AppRx, look at the reports that are supplied here, make those revisions to the installer file, and then re-upload. And you can test it again to ensure that those fixes have taken place. The interoperability reports that we were looking at before are here. You can have another look, and see if applications are going to install together. It might not be a problem at the point of install, but later on, if you want to upgrade one of these applications and it's touching another application, a component, a shared component like a registry key or an INI file or something like that, and you modify one of those applications, there's a potential there that you can go ahead and break one of the other ones. So that's what this report's going to tell you. I'll just touch on this one quickly. This one's come back as red. There are three specific issues this one's touching: key paths, files, and registry. And then if we just scroll down, let's give us a little bit more room there. There we go. It's going to tell us exactly which applications this one's touching. So in this case, Python 3.0, and then the other application of the same type, different version number. So when you're doing your testing, you have a look. Maybe these are going to be relevant for you, maybe not, but it will flag those potentials. So it could save you a lot of grief in the long run. The other platforms we've got here are AppV and Citrix XenApp Streamed and XenApp Hosted. The reports are kind of similar. I mean, it's the same look and feel. Obviously, the content's going to vary. In this one, if we wanted to look at moving some applications over to AppV, we can see that we have 12 that are amber and 2 that are green, so quite a difference there from our Windows 7 analysis. But the good news is, if we look at the after action summary, we can get all of these applications to a green status by following the advice in these reports. Let's have a look at one of these. This one's come back as amber. So we've got some interlinked application issues on a runtime issue. And again, the same look and feel, where we supply the manifestation. So what's causing this particular issue, some remediation about how to fix it, and then the results area tells you the exact files within the application that need to be modified or remediated to work on the new platform. So there's a lot of detail in here. It's going to allow the application packaging folks to come in and really shrink down the amount of time of just smoke testing everything and trying to see what the problem is when they have that exact information, what they're going to need to remediate listed in this report, plus access to the file. And again, through a SaaS portal, that whole workflow is going to be enabled and really speed things along for you. Okay. So in summary, App Compat testing using AppRx SaaS platform is going to provide really rapid results in just minutes without the need to go out and buy hardware, do an install, and have a centralized center of excellence where you would need to perform these operations. You can also run these tests simultaneously, so you can run an analysis on 2, 3, 10, or 20 different groups at the same time. The reports are going to be provided to you same day, same time, so you don't have to worry about waiting for hardware to free up to run an analysis. It's all going to be done right there and quickly for you. Thanks a lot.